This video is sponsored by Surfshark, but more on that later. Welcome all, the MCL 2025 show. This is the very first day of the show, and I thought, and it may be a crazy idea because it's so busy, I thought I'd try and film a bit of the show and show a few of my favourite bikes. The atmosphere already is absolutely incredible. Traffic jams everywhere around Birmingham, even stopping off at the service stations. Everyone's in their Triumph, Ducati, Harley-Davidson t-shirts. There's a huge display going on over there, and it is just every single inch of it completely packed. A few things I want to see today. I want to see what Norton's lineup of bikes is like. I want to see if Honda have their new 500 and 1000cc. And, among other things, of course, I want to see some Yamaha stuff and a few of the Triumphs. So, first things first, I'll see if I can find the Norton stand, because these have been causing quite a stir. The interest in the Honda stand is huge. I remember last year I came over to the Can-Am store and I said that I can't see electric motorbikes working, and we're a year on now and they look really good. But I don't think in a year electric bikes have pushed on, unfortunately, enough to make them any more viable proposition 1 year on. But it's good to see them, and it's also good to see the Can-Am name. Honda Africa Twins behind me. This is the evolution of Suzuki's all the way from the 1985 slab side. And they've got it year after year. 1993, the year of bike I remember when I first passed. That's the exact bike that I wanted to buy but couldn't quite afford it. That's the 1999, 2001. And all the way through to the more modern stuff. You can see sports bikes making a comeback. Maybe not to get the 1000cc stuff, but certainly get the 500, 600, 750cc sports bikes. I think within the next few years, there will be a big comeback of those. Because everything 1980s and 1990s is back in fashion. And that is bang on the era of the sports bikes. So watch this space, because the resurgence has begun already. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark's a VPN, a virtual private network. In short, what this does, it encrypts and protects all of the data sent between your device and the internet. It can also do one extremely clever thing, among others. That is changing your virtual location to anywhere you fancy in the world. I'll give you two real-world examples of why this has been so useful for me. On a recent trip when I was camping in France, I was watching one of my Netflix series, and up popped a little warning saying you don't have the right account to watch Netflix in France. So all I had to do in this situation, go onto my Surfshark app, change my location from France to the UK, one button, as simple as that, and then I can carry on watching Netflix just like I was in the UK. And the second reason why changing your virtual location is so useful, you can genuinely save significant amounts of money on travel. So we're considering going to Thailand, potentially in a month or so. I went onto booking.com and I found a really nice hotel for 3 nights, £234. Then I thought, what would happen if I changed my virtual location on Surfshark from the UK to Thailand? I did this, and the price went down from £234 to £192. This is brilliant. So if you'd like to give Surfshark a try, you can go to surfshark.com/Freddy and you'll get 4 months extra Surfshark VPN. Now back to the MCL show. First point, Norton stand, and these are the first of the new Nortons I've seen in the flesh. Interestingly, this is a complete rebranding for Norton. You can see none of the bikes here now are from the old range of bikes, including And I think this is a massive shame, including the Norton Commando. That's been discontinued. For me, discontinuing the Norton Commando is like discontinuing the Triumph Bonneville, even if you have a refresh of the range. I still think it'd be nice to keep that Commando. There were so many simple things they could have done just to bring that up to a slightly more modern standard. However, these do look really good and they're generating a lot of interest. This is their adventure bike here. And the bikes probably that are generating more interest than anything else, you see all the people here, are the sports bikes. Look at this one here. I mean, they're excellent looking things, extremely good quality. The new person in charge of all of the design at Norton, he is also the person who's taken over the design of Jaguar. All of the rebranding, stopping all of the current range of cars at Jaguar, changing the logo of Jaguar, changing everything. Exactly the same person who's in charge of the rebranding of Norton. So I'm not sure if that's a positive or not. That waits to be seen. But just the fact that Norton have now discontinued and stopped all of their current range of bikes as they get ready for this new range that I'm sure will come out within the next year or so. It's a risky strategy, but looking at the quality and the style of them, I think it could pay off. So if all of the interest is anything to go by, we could be seeing something quite special and possibly Norton establishing himself in the market in a way that they haven't done yet. Could this be a brand to finally take on the likes of Triumph with that quality and the range of bikes? I think it may be. Close up. First time I've seen it this close. First edition Norton. I think, someone tell me if I'm wrong, I think it's a 1200 V twin with carbon front mudguard. Incredible lines, really very, very elegant looking machine. And this is the super naked version of that. You can see a lot of similarities just with a few less fairings. Again, incredibly futuristic, but just supremely finished bike. Look at the foot pegs, the quality of the rear chain hub on the back, the paint finish, everything. Glorious thing. Okay, Norton is going to be a big deal in the coming years. If they can get everything right with the relaunch, they've got the products there to do extremely well. I'd be very interested where do they end up making them? England or India? I was just speaking to a gent called Travis, I promised I'd get your name in. He's about to pull the trigger and buy a Vogue 800 adventure bike. And interestingly, I've now spoken to 4 people who are just about to pull the trigger on a Chinese bike, either a Vogue or a CF Moto. Massive sign of the times here now. It's the quality of the bikes and the price point. It's making it irresistible for so many people. Harley-Davidson, the entry-level bike into the range, 9995, under 10k for the Nightster. They've done a few updates to the styling of that with that orange tank, which is reminiscent of a bike about 20 years ago from the 883. I think they've done a good job here now. There are a few bits they could improve, like this all has to go. That's a ridiculous style there. That can't stay. But in general, sub 10k now for the entry-level Harley. They are getting closer to where they need to be to attract new bikers into the brand. That is the first positive entry I've seen from Harley-Davidson that makes me think, yes, someone there at the brand understands the fact that younger bikers don't all have £20,000. They want all of the style, but they want it at an affordable price point. They're getting there, Harley, now. That is a step in the right direction with those little upgrades. Triumph's new range of dirt bikes. Now that I'm an off-roader, borderline expert, this appeals to me more than ever. 250cc and 450cc. This is about 45 horsepower as a max, and it's 115 kilos, aluminium frame, totally stripped back. And interestingly, this is about £10,000, but if you spend about an extra £1,000 or so, you can turn this hardcore dirt bike with no indicators, nothing like that, into a road legal bike. So Triumph from the factory, they'll put on the indicators front and back, they'll put on a number plate, everything you need so you can actually ride to the off-road tracks. I think these are extremely exciting, and if I had the money, or if I'm willing to take a loan out, I would love one of these. And the fact that it's about 115 kilos, genuine lightweight, in a world where you have more and more tech coming out, now the fact that Triumph are managing to make these bikes in terms of a 1980s type dirt bike, from that weight perspective, excellent looking thing. The Kawasaki Z900RS is, in theory, about to be discontinued. But there's so much interest in those, I can't even manage to get the camera around it. So for a bike that's being discontinued, still a lot of interest in that classic bike. Triumph's new range. These are the brand new Trident 800s, same engine as the Tiger adventure bike. So they've massively increased it from 660 to 800cc for those. Daytona there. You see just so much interest in these bikes. And Speed Twin 900, I think all of the Triumphs have an evolutionary upgrade, so you're not going to see any obvious differences in most of them. However, a lot of them have some new clever tech like lean sensitive ABS and I think USB under the headlamps and stuff like that, but probably the biggest difference is this. I'll come on this side. The Scrambler 900 there, you can see newly designed, I think, exhaust, paint colours, gold forks, stuff like that. That is a very good looking bike, and it's also got a new screen as well. Triumph done a good job. They're going to continue to do very well, I'm sure. The most out there bikes of the show, no question at all, besides that rear tyre, are the Benda motorcycles. Some of the styling is incredibly out there. That, I think, is the Napoleon Bob. They've also got one called the Chinchilla, which is that one there. They are unique looking bikes. I still think probably eventually Benda are going to have to change their name, but they do look like excellent machines. Just a quick marketing thing. Change the name, at least in the UK. It will make a world of difference. Hero motorcycles. This is the biggest motorcycle manufacturer in the world. 4.1 million motorbikes every year are built by Hero. To give that some context, Royal Enfield, 1 million a year. This is the Hero Hunk 440. This comes in £3,500, then you add on the on-road. Let's say £3,650 for this 440cc bike. So, thank you, sir. Cheers. It's so much bike for the money, really, isn't it? 3.5k for something like this. The quality looks good. I mean, it's hard to argue with a lot of this. Moto GB have a gigantic stand here with all of their brands, and as is the case, same as last year, huge amount of interest in all of these bikes, from the Bendas to the Benellis to the Heroes. A lot of interest. This is really phenomenal value. The new QJ motor. So QJ are a Chinese brand that came out 2025. This is their adventure bike, 600cc, £4,700, and it comes with all of the luggage. So the two panniers, the back box, 600cc adventure bike for that kind of money. It's almost impossible for people to be able to compete and compare with these kind of bikes, especially as they're selling and producing bikes on the kind of scale that's being produced in China. And the quality's there as well now. Every single year, a huge revelation, a huge realization for me is just how quickly the Chinese are progressing. It's very, very noticeable. It's nice to see the vibrant color combinations come back. There was a time when almost all the bikes would be black and dark colors, so to see those colors from Triumph, that is a very welcome sight. That Kawasaki hybrid, I think that used to be over £12,000 brand new, and they just didn't sell any of them at all, Kawasaki, so they've just reduced the price to about 7.5k. Those bikes, those hybrids, they do not sell at all. I think they even struggle to sell more than a handful in the UK. The vibe of the show is off the scale. Such a brilliant range of people. Young and old, men and women, everyone sharing in their joint love of motorbikes. So, next up for me, I want to find BMWs here now, then Honda, then I want to check out what Indian have. You cannot move in this BMW section. Waiting for him to topple the bike over, but that is, I guess, a show of what this bike can do from a technological point of view. I'll quickly jump in here because I think this may be my bike of the event. BMW F450GS, sub £7,000, 450cc, stunning, like 1980s Dakar styling, beautifully proportioned, and I think if I remember about 45, 48 horsepower. This is such a good looking bike, generating loads of interest in this color combo as well, and to have such a premium bike under 7k like this, in such a sensible package, 450cc, excellent, excellent bike from BMW. My pick so far of the show. One of the other favourites here, BMW R12 GS, 230 kilos, 1200cc. It's in essence like the bigger, more retro version of the 450 I've just shown. But BMW have smashed it out of the park with the styling. It is phenomenal what they're doing. This bike and the 450, they're going to sell so well. They've done amazing things here. I think the American brands may be reducing their prices on originally far more expensive bikes. That is the entry-level Scout. That's £10,000. Oh no, it's fine. I'm filming this way anyway, so it's fine. £10,000 for that, which seems fairly reasonable. It'll be interesting though how Indian Motorcycle does, because of course they've just been bought out by a private equity company, and their future is uncertain. The American bike brands, definitely at the moment, Harley-Davidson, Indian, are in a transitional period and struggling, so it'll be interesting to see the direction that they end up taking. Another brand that's had a pretty ropey year, KTM. Good to see a few upgrades and them, I think, getting back to proper health again, which is nice to see because KTM is such a big brand. It'd be unthinkable that wouldn't be around. Transalp Special Edition with 1980s, 1990s inspired colour combo, £10,600 I think. That's a very nice looking bike. And electric bikes, I don't take any pride in saying it, but there's still no interest in the electric stuff, even from Honda. They've got a suite of them here. For example, the price is acceptable. This is £13,000 for this electric Honda, and that is a decent looking bike. Oh, and the range of the electric Honda that I just showed, 85 or 87 miles for the smaller battery and 97 or 95 miles for the bigger one. The range is just too small, the price is too much, and it's 30 minutes to charge 60%. So it's 30 minutes to charge 45 miles worth of range. It just doesn't make sense, unfortunately. So happy to see this. It's impossible to get closer because there's so many people looking. The Honda CBF 1000, £10,500 for that. That is another contender for me for bike of the show. That is a stunning looking bike. Honda again with a full suite. Such a huge range of bikes, attracting and appealing to so many people. I'm blown away by the selection of bikes here this year. That was a gigantic amount of fun, and I've left feeling more upbeat than ever because I think we have never had it so good as bikers. The range and selection of bikes, everything from £3,500 bikes all the way up to as luxurious as you want. It's all there for everyone. Two stand-up bikes for me would be Honda CBF 1000 and first off, why? Honda CBF 1000, it's the style and the build quality and the fact you get it for £10,500. It's got a proper nod to the old school, that big, beefy engine, effortless, muscular looks. It's a really, really very nice bike. And the BMW 450GS, that is attainable luxury, and on top of that it makes a huge amount of sense with about 48 horsepower, very manageable, beautiful 1980s styling, excellent ergonomics, a very well thought out bike that will fly out of showrooms. The Chinese motorbikes, of course, are coming, and they're getting better and better every year. They're highly impressive machines, but the big difference, a big takeaway for me from this year, the European and the Japanese brands, well, the fight back has started. Some of the new stuff coming out of, for example, Suzuki and Honda with the CBF 1000, BMW with the bikes I showed, Triumph with updated models across the range, and the amount of women and younger riders looking at those Triumph 400s, it's incredible. The new range of bikers that can get involved with this ever-expanding range from the likes of Triumph, but pretty much every single brand now is pushing on. It's a little bit like the Chinese brands have given everyone a real kick and made them realize, look, we need to up our game here, and they have. Selection incredible. One other final thing, the likes of Harley-Davidson and Indian, they will and they are getting left behind if they don't do something about expanding their product lines. They're the only brands now of motorbikes, apart from MV Agusta, but that's too niche. They're the only brands that aren't understanding that a cheap entry-level bike that keeps hold of all of the nostalgia is needed. Something like a sub 7K bike. Even BMW are doing it. So the American brands, they need to catch up somehow. But that's it. I'll wrap it up there. Excellent day. I feel more pumped and motivated than ever. Biking is in an incredible place if we just take the amount of models and the interest shown from today. Thanks all for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring the video, and remember you can go to surfshark.com/Freddy for those 4 months extra Surfshark.